you guys are all okay with that, I'm going to hit record. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them up in the chat box there, the bottom chat icon. We'll let you share a question with us, and we'll try to address everything that we can. And then if you are particularly inclined to share a reaction, those are fun too. So, so for tonight, we'll just try and keep it short and sweet because this program is very simple. And that's a really nice thing about it, is the simplicity is paramount. We'll give a brief overview of JDRF. They're going to turn the lights on and off on me. I can feel it. I'm going to give a brief overview of JDRF and introduce the RIDE staff and JDRF leadership that is with our chapter. And then we'll share an overview of the MyRide, how it exists now and how you can participate. And then talk about some goal setting and some fundraising ideas and incentives that we have. And also the cool integration that exists with STRAVA. And I'm going to have some of our coaches present and our ride share. But a quick overview of JDRF. We are celebrating our 50-year anniversary today. Not today, this month or last month. This year we're celebrating 50 years of existence. And our vision is a world without type 1 diabetes. And our mission, you can all read it there, I don't need to read it to you, but it is inclusive of finding cures for type 1 diabetes as well as improving lives. And, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna lock them out. That's what I'm gonna do. So we've come a long way, and we've been able to fund over $2 billion of research in that amount of time. So this organization was funded by parents, and today we are the largest single funder of type 1 diabetes research in the world. And you guys are a big part of that in the fundraising that you do for our cause. We are, I'm not going to read these to you. I don't believe in reading PowerPoints to people, but we are, and Mike, feel free to jump in if you have anything specific to say. We work with researchers, we work with pharmaceutical companies, we work with seed investors, a lot of different people across the pipeline to bring our mission to pass. So your Dexcom, your tandem pump, anything that's significantly helping your management of T1D, we've been a major part of that. Can you hear her? So I would like to introduce our team. These are our coaches, and I believe they're all on the call right now. I think I saw them all pop on. But I would like to invite everybody to introduce themselves. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah, hey, let's give Stace a minute because she has little ones, and I really appreciate her taking a minute to handle this call this late at night with her two kiddos.
Hi, guys.
Tiburon, since we've got the pictures in order, why don't you guys introduce yourselves by picture and tell us a little bit about why you're the coach, how long you've been involved, and the real reason why you chose JDRF to ride for.
I'll be one of those people that says the cliche, I didn't choose Ride chose me. But I've been involved with the program. Well, my son was diagnosed. My son is going to be 21 next month. He was diagnosed in March of 2004. I got involved with JDRF shortly thereafter. I think as all parents of type 1 diabetics, we feel helpless and feel like we need to do something. And so this was my something. I started with the Ride program in 2009. I rode my first ride. So this will be my 12th season, coaching for 10 of those years. So been a coach since 2010. I think I've done 18 rides over that time. And for me, it's about the cause. It's about feeling like I'm making a contribution. It's the people. The Ride family is my extended family. Going to a ride is like a family reunion. And it's been amazing over the last, I have to do the math, almost 17 years of my son having type 1, to see the advancements that have come about because of funding from JDRF, to be a part of that and to be able to physically touch and feel technologies and hold them in your hand and see them come to market. It's just a really cool thing, and to feel like you're a part of something. So that's why I ride. I also really enjoy riding a bike, so it's a bonus for me, but that's kind of my intro. Time to run.
Bobby.
Yeah, I'm Bobby Peterson. I think I know most of you. I've met even the folks from Utah. I think I've met most of you. I've been involved with JDRF since 2003, shortly before my daughter was diagnosed. Right after I got involved with JDRF, my daughter was diagnosed, and that pretty much sealed the deal. I mostly spent time doing walk or a snowshoe walk or whatever, anything JDRF for many years. And in 2015, I found out about the RIDE program. I don't know how I didn't know about that, but having been an avid cyclist my whole life, that was pretty much a natural fit. And so I stepped away from the walk and jumped into RIDE, and Lad and I did our first ride in Death Valley in the fall of 2015. And we've been zoned in on that ever since. I love to ride my bike. I love to raise money for JDRF. It was like a Reese's peanut butter cup. It was like two great things that go great together. So that's why I'm here.
How about you, Steve?
Hi, I'm Steve Luke. I have been involved in and out with JDRF pretty much as long as I've known Bobby, doing walks and things like that, and then got more involved here with the ride group, which has been awesome because I'm an avid cyclist and biker and just love to ride. Probably the most impactful thing that, I guess, when I started kind of getting involved with JDRF, that really kind of stuck with me is when Bobby told me about his story with Andy and how young she was, and wasn't, nobody's ever expecting this to happen. And I just thought, Bobby's, one of my best friends, and I'm just like, that could be my kid. And once I got involved and saw the impact of what we do, what it has on people's lives, and meeting people even at fundraisers, and I met a guy that works with a local doctor here, and he said, what you guys are doing is amazing. I personally work side by side with these doctors that are funded through JDRF, and the stuff that we're doing is amazing, and it only happens because you guys are doing what you do. And I was like, this is why I do this. It does make a difference. And the events, the people, the camaraderie, the friends here locally, it's just amazing. And all the writing I've done, it's just an amazing group of people, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm the other Idaho coach, Lad. It seems like I know most of the people on this call. I'm just remembering back to that first meeting where Bobby said, hey guys, and we all loved riding together, a lot of us, and Bobby said, hey, there's this thing we got to find out about that combines JDRF and riding. So, like you said, we went down there, and I had this great memory of trying to find Tib. We were walking around like, hey, we're supposed to find Tiburon, who we'd never met. And somebody'd say, oh yeah, I just heard her, she's over that way. And then, no, I heard her, she's over that way. So we spent an hour wandering around Death Valley trying to find Tiburon. And once we met her, we had a great time. We had such an awesome weekend, and the program was just so amazing that the whole ride home, Bobby was coming up with ideas, and I was writing them down, and we were coming up with friends and people we wanted to talk to. And it's just been such an amazing ride. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Fantastic.
Certainly
That's
not
great. Yeah, I'm Jeremy Jones, the ride chair, just newly designated, but right there in the picture, that's the reason why I ride. The boy in the middle, that's River, and he was diagnosed 6 years ago. I've been involved with JDRF ever since. I've only done 2 rides though. I have a mountain biking background, and I, realized that, hey, I got to start riding for River, and realized that putting my butt in the saddle and trying to ride as hard as I could for as long as I could, goes through a little bit of pain of what he does throughout his sight changes, through his dex changes, and, all that he lives with the highs and lows, as you guys all know. It really, brings it home, and I feel like I have to do something. I want to fix it, right, as we all do. And this is the effort that I put in to do it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. Definitely want to expand the group, so we have 3 coaches next time down in Utah as well, and get a good group to support the cause and keep riding. But thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike, for pitching in there. I swear when I get on a call, it's like something. It's like when the gremlins come out. So anyway, we have a really awesome team, as you can see. Such great commitment and so many fantastic whys behind everybody's involvement. And so I will just get right into it. The My Ride is a program for anybody who has a bike, really, and anybody who has a passion for being involved with JDRF and finding a cure for type 1 diabetes. So whether you're just getting a bike and it's coming out of the box, or you've had a bike for decades, like Bobby or Tiburon, it's such an easy program to be a part of, and an easy program to navigate. So we don't have a minimum fundraising requirement or a registration fee. Any of you guys who have done the Ride to Cure Diabetes program before, there's a pretty hefty fundraising requirement involved with that. And that was a difficult thing for a lot of people to get over and do the actual fundraising part. So that barrier to entry is gone. We also have the opportunity for you to set your own goals and participate in your own way, whether that's based on mileage or a fundraising goal, if you want to do it inside on a trainer, or outside if you want to do it with your friends, if you want to create your own little mini teams, or if you want to just do it on your own, that's totally fine too. And then JDRF National is also issuing some challenges, both fundraising based and fitness based. So once you register, they start sending you emails that are about those particular things. We don't even know them as a staff. I think it's whatever new and innovative and exciting people come up with. That's what they issue to our riders. And then they are planning a virtual ride weekend for celebration and recognition. They haven't determined a date on that yet, but I believe they said it was likely to be in October. But that's the gist of the My Ride. There are also an incentive structure that National is releasing, and we decided it might be fun to add in our own incentives on the local level as well. So the first thing we threw in there is raise $100 in new donations to your page and receive one of our Mountain Valley Ride t-shirts, which there's a picture on the next slide. They're pretty cool. We like them a lot. And they were designed by somebody here in Utah, so we're pretty proud of that as well. And then also with the national incentives, there is a finisher's medal and a national ride jersey that you qualify for once you raise $500. And then they also have a limited edition jersey that they've added on top of that, since riders love their jerseys and have quite the collection. It's 2020 limited edition. So if you raise $2,020, 2020, you get the 2020 limited edition jersey. And then I've also seen previews of incentives related around next year's ride. So if you raise the minimum that you would have raised in the Ride to Cure Diabetes program, so the 4,000 or the 5,000 minimum, there are perks that will be added to your 2021 ride package. But they will be releasing those shortly. They haven't given us an exact date on when they will send those out to participants, but we've seen previews of what they're thinking about, and it's pretty cool. So this is our chapter ride shirt. It's a little pixelated in this picture, but there are safety yellow t-shirts with blue ink on them, or also navy with white ink on them. And we are willing to have more of these printed for anybody who meets that $100 fundraising threshold to kick off your ride. And they are pretty cool. You can't really see, but that outline around the mountain is a bike chain. So it's, and there's a little mountain, a little biker you can see along the river that is a little bit pixelated as well. So it was a joint effort to design the back panel, which I think a lot of people really love. So that's the t-shirt. And then also in talking with our coaches, we would really love to have everybody's help in recruitment. It was hard to recruit people with the former Ride to Cure Diabetes program. Like I mentioned, the fundraising minimum was often a deterrent for people that caused a lot of people to turn away and say, well, that's just a really hard, fundraising is a challenge. But I am fairly confident that I can coach anybody to raise $1,000. So I invite you to challenge me to that. But I would love to see every rider on our team set a goal to recruit at least one new rider to the program. And I would love to make it a contest. I haven't decided what the prize is yet, but I would love to issue that challenge and then build a prize package that is of interest to everybody with the help of our coaches to create an incentive that people would like. So,
Stacy,
yeah, Bobby,
can I butt in for just a second?
Yeah.
I really feel like this is a way, obviously none of us are going to raise as much money as we had hoped to raise, especially up here in Idaho, where we lost all of our opportunities to sell raffle tickets for the Corvette. And so this is a way for us to make up ground. If say we're only going to raise 1,000 and our goal was 5,000, if we're to recruit some friends that each raised 1,000, which is very doable, like you said, that helps us make up the difference, because JDRF really, really needs, obviously there's a huge hit to income this year for JDRF, and we're going to lose research programs if we don't do that. And so by adding, if we can each add a friend, and I've talked to several people and they're very receptive to it, particularly in clubs. So if you're a member of the CBR or Hoppy Cycling or Team Reel, this is an opportunity for us to get some of our friends that are riders that ride all the time anyway, and get them to participate. And whether they raise $100 or $10,000, it's money we wouldn't have had. And it's a way to introduce them to the ride program and get them excited about helping JDRF. And I'll just say right now, I will throw it out there. The person that recruits the most new people that haven't been signed up for at least a year in JDRF will get a trip to Mexico.
Oh, I like that price. That's a good one.
So
nice incentive.
Recruit your friends to come and ride. And again, if they raise $100, great. If they raise $10,000, even better. So see how many people you can get to jump on and ride with you. And the cool thing is recruit your immediate friends, the people that you're already riding with on a daily basis anyway. And whether it's mountain biking or Zwifting or out on the road or gravel riding, it doesn't really matter. This is an opportunity for us to add people and not put a lot of pressure on them. It's pretty easy to raise a small amount of money just by riding your bike. I mean, people are astonished that people ride their bicycle 100 miles or 1,000 miles over a period of time. So they're willing to help.
Thanks, Bobby. And thanks for the prize. I can't add a trip to Mexico. I might be able to add some gift cards, but That's a good one. So let's see if you can use your notation by show of hands. Who thinks they can recruit at least one person to the ride this year? Thumbs up. Yeah, there we go. Woohoo! I love it. Okay. So looking at the next slide, we're talking about goal setting now. And these were some funny ideas for goal setting that were come up with by another chapter in JDRF, and I can't take credit for it, even though I think some of them are quite hilarious. So ride around the moon, and these are mileage ideas, and also if you would like to equate it to fundraising. So the mileage circumference around the moon. Ride Forest Ride, which is the mileage across America. I will ride 500 miles, like the song. Celebrate 2020 miles. The length or the width of your state. I tried to look up the distance around the state of Idaho, and I couldn't find anything. So if anybody wants to find Idaho's or Utah's mileage, that might be a fun one.
Or you could do like the whole length of the chapter, like Boise to St. George. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
The one that I love is use the Type 1 footprint, and you can find your Type 1's footprint by going to JDRF's website. It gives you a lot of statistics. On this next screen down here at the bottom, the little box on the bottom tells you a lot of statistics about living with T1D. How many times your finger's been poked, how many pump site changes you've had. Using some of those metrics is a really cool way to paint the picture for your donors about why you're doing this. And so there's a lot of different ways you can do this. And if you set a mileage goal, you have and Bobby and I have, and Tibro, the coaches, we've talked about this quite a bit. If you're writing a certain mileage amount, you can say, I'm riding this many miles. Would you sponsor me at 5 cents a mile or 10 cents a mile or $1 a mile if you have some more wealthy friends? But Bobby had made a suggestion. Do you want to talk about your ride to Tucson mileage?
Sure. So the majority of our chapter, we're planning on riding in Tucson this year. And most of us are really bummed because it's a great ride and we're really excited about it. And so I was thinking that maybe instead of riding in Tucson, we could ride to Tucson. And the distance between Boise, I'm sorry I didn't figure out Salt Lake, you guys would be a little closer, but the distance between Boise and Tucson is 1,038 miles. So if I set a goal to ride 1,038 miles between now and November, when they have the end of the big gala finish to this thing, and between all of my friends, I could get sponsorship to get up to $1 a mile, not from one person, but combined. So say one friend sponsored me for 5 cents and another sponsored me for 10 cents a mile, another one maybe 25 cents. But I get up to $1 a mile then just by doing my 1,000 miles between now and then, which seems like a lot to a non-cyclist, but people that ride all the time, 1,000 miles between now and November is not that big a deal. I think that Steve and Ladd probably ride that much in 2 months. So you could end up raising $1,000 doing something really fun without asking your friends for a lot of money. If you think about 5 cents a mile and 1,000 miles, you're asking your friend to donate $50 over the next 5 months. That's $10 a month if you meet your riding goal. That's something that's doable, and it doesn't seem like something that, to me, is asking too much, even in these weird times. We're not asking them for $100 or $200 or $500. We're saying, hey, it's $50 and let's spread it out, you know, at $10 a month. Or maybe somebody's willing to do $20 a month, that's $100. It seems to me that it would be fairly easy for each of us to raise a minimum of $1,000. And I'm not saying you have to. The program is about doing whatever you can do, and we'll take whatever we can get, but we have to have a goal. And I would challenge everybody that feels comfortable with it to maybe shoot for that $1,038 mark, which is the ride to Tucson. and do that by riding that 1,000 miles or more. So anyway, that was my idea. I think it sounds like fun. I think it's something that when we ask our friends, we can tell them about it. So I was supposed to ride 100 miles in Tucson. Now I'm going to ride 1,038 miles to Tucson. Help me raise some money for JDRF.
Hey, and Ryan, just so you know, I looked it up from Fairbanks to Tucson. It's just 3,608 miles. So I feel like that's doable for you.
I just did the math. It's 723 miles a month between now and November.
Do it. But your cycling season doesn't start till like August 15th, right? And then it's done like August 31st.
Yeah, I got 2 weeks to do it. It'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be great.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is if you want to set a goal and work together with members of your team, if 1,038 miles seems too much for you as you're a lower mileage trainer, team up with 1 or 2 other members of the team and do it together. And then it seems a little more doable when you split up the mileage. We're marketing this Ragnar 200 to T1D. 200 miles to run is a ridiculous amount in one weekend. But putting together a team of 12 and doing that much miles over the course of 3 days is a lot more doable. So if you want to pick an aggressive goal, or Bobby, if you have a bigger goal for the whole team, or Tiburon for the whole team, to log team miles, I would be more than happy to set up some kind of mechanism for reporting and keeping track of that if you are interested in holding people accountable and doing something like that. And also I was going to mention, as Bobby was talking about the per month donation, the JDRF website does have a utility where you can enter $5 and then check a box that says per month for the next, and you designate how many months. So your donors can enter that and it will turn off at whatever month they designate. So it's a really cool utility. Not a whole lot of people know that it exists or take advantage of it. So this might be the year. But I would love to hear from Jeremy or Ladd or Steve or Tiburon or Bobby, even though I think Bobby kind of shared his goal. But if our coaches have a goal set that they would like to share with our teams. Tib, do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah. I have been very lazy during quarantine. So I've set kind of an ambitious goal. My son's turning 21 next month. And he's my reason that I ride. So I'm setting a goal of 2,100 miles between now and the end of the year.
Nice.
For him.
How about Jeremy?
Yeah, I set a goal. For some of you that know, my son was sick for a couple months, so I've really not been riding my bike very much. I guess I'll call it being lazy too, like Tiburon, but just stress and whatnot. I haven't been able to get out, but I set a goal for close to yours, Tiburon, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2,345.
I love it.
Yeah.
Ladd or Steve, have you thought about that?
Yeah, I thought a little bit. The interesting one to me, I can't remember the number right now, but I was going to go to the 2 rides, and Bobby had the number for what it would be to ride to both. What was that number, Bobby?
I think because we were going to go to
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse,
Yeah.
and it was like 32 or 3,300 miles.
So yeah, I have to double check again. It's still, it isn't burned into my brain yet. I was still, coming up to grips with the plan. So
For those that were going to go to Death Valley, I think that's about 600 miles from Boise. So if you wanted to use that, if you were a Death Valley rider, that could be an option for you too.
Yeah. I had the same idea of what Bobby was talking about, of the 2 rides, same as Ladd's. With the amount that we ride, we have to set our goal pretty high as far as the amount, especially with a lot of our friends that just go, well, you ride all the time. It's like, okay, well, I would normally ride between that time 150 plus a week. So if I can do, 3,000, which in a short amount of time is half of what I do in an entire year. So, so that was my thought. And Bobby had brought that up is the distance between 2 rides. So probably shooting for like 4,000 miles between now and the end. So.
That's great. Does anybody have any questions to this point? Or comments? Okay. Well, I'm going to let Bobby talk some more about this STRAVA integration that JDRF has set up with the ride pages now. Bobby, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not sure with most of the Utah riders, but a lot of the Idaho riders, I'm friends with you on STRAVA. We see each other's rides all the time. I think the majority of our Idaho riders have a STRAVA account, but if you don't, it's really easy to get one. It's free, or you can pay, I believe it's $5 a month for added stuff. I personally think the $5 a month is well worth it, but you certainly don't have to have that to do what we're going to do. STRAVA is kind of like Facebook for bicyclists, and basically it keeps track of all your rides. If you have a smartphone, that's the only equipment you have to have. You can link it up with a Garmin or other satellite device, but really all you need is a smartphone. You download the app and create your login, and you're good to go, and you have a STRAVA account. And STRAVA will keep track of all of your mileage. You can hook up a heart rate monitor. It'll keep track of your heart rate. It'll keep track of your efforts. All kinds of statistics and metrics that are really cool to have. But the reason it's important for our purposes is JDRF has partnered with STRAVA, and we can now link our STRAVA account to our JDRF page, which I did. And those of you that know me know I'm a complete technological moron and can't make anything work that's electronic. And I did it on my first try. Woohoo! So if you just go to your JDRF Ride page and scroll down, and Stacy's got it up there a little bit. And if you've already got, I would download the app from STRAVA first if you don't have it, and keep track of your login and stuff. And then go to your JDRF Ride page and scroll down, and you can literally just click on it and enter your information, and it automatically links up. And I did it, and immediately my ride started showing up on my JDRF page. So it's now my JDRF page is keeping track of my mileage, which is a good way for when my people that are going to sponsor my ride, they can go to my page and see what my mileage is doing. So please don't look at my miles this week because I haven't been riding, but prior to that, I've been doing pretty good this year. The other thing it does is it keeps track of elevation. And I know some of you mountain bike junkies, sometimes elevation is more important than miles. So you might go and say, hey, I want to have people sponsor me for vertical feet because I climb a lot more than I do distance, and that'd be fine too. And Strava keeps track of that. And you can see here where Stacy's got that morning ride right there, 30 miles and 266 feet elevation. And if you're on a mountain bike, at least in Boise, and you went 30 miles on a mountain bike, that would be more like 3,000 feet of elevation. So there's lots, I mean, there's so many options, and that's the beautiful thing about this JDRF My Ride. Being able to hook up to Strava gives us a way to keep track of everything, but it also leaves us so free to do this however we want. The important thing is that we raise whatever we can for JDRF, and how we get there isn't that important. But the main thing is, I think we're all going to want to set a goal, and Strava helps us with reaching a goal because we can keep track of our progress.
Thanks, Bobby. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the Strava integration or about the ride in general? I know we have a couple of new people as well, so they might have questions. Carol has 0 elevation. Give yourself some credit, Carol.
That's my kind of riding, Carol. Is it possible to have negative elevation, just ride downhill every time? That's what I want.
Sure, if you can find the hill.
So I have a question for the coaches. As we're setting these lofty goals and we're trying to achieve them, how do we maintain our bikes so they run efficiently? What's your strategy in those cases? And as well, nutrition, when you're trying to set a lofty goal for a specific day, a ride there. Any tips you guys have? I know Steve saved me in Santa Fe with some Scratch, a drink that has great electrolytes. It really saved me as I was bonking 25 miles in. But other tips like that could help the group would be beneficial.
Do you think it would be beneficial to maybe do like some clinics where we do like here's how to do basic bike maintenance after your rides, here's how often you should be doing it, here's some good nutrition things? Do you think that that's something that people would find value in?
Yeah, you know what we could probably do? I'll talk to my son. He does videos and stuff, both for myself, Bobby, and his own business, and see, because we do like basic mountain biking skills and stuff like that and do videos, and we can make videos specific to how to fuel, how to do basic bike maintenance, and do those simple videos and put it out to the team so they can basically, you know, kind of do it on their own. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could do some kind of clinics or, you know, educational type videos to let people know how to take care of this stuff on their own.
Yeah.
Since they won't have coaches out on the road to help them.
Right. Yeah, we know how to do that already. So I'll try to brainstorm with my son on what we can do, and anything that the coaches or any of the riders have of, it would be nice to know this, then we can kind of tailor it to what people really need, instead of just, you know, if nobody needs a tire change, then we don't need to address tire changing. But fueling is a big thing, especially as you ride longer distances, because I know a lot of people that ride, and I talk to people every day with my shop, and they're just like, oh yeah, I just take water. I mean, we have people in our group that have done that, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, performance wise, you're just killing yourself. So we could definitely put some short little videos together on what the different products are and how to fuel. A lot of people don't know those basics of how much do I put in my bottle, you know, for how long, you know, how many calories am I burning in an hour to what I can actually take in is very important. So that's, if anybody has anything specific they would like, definitely send it to us. But my son and I could probably put some videos together and
if you've got issues like pending issues with your bike being broken or something, reach out to the coaches. My basement is basically a bike shop, and I'm happy to help. And Steve owns a bike shop. We also have other bike shops in town that are big supporters of JDRF that are willing to help and offer discounts as well. So bike maintenance. The other thing is with STRAVA, you get some metrics and some information that you may not have had before if you've not used it, and that can help you. And Steve and Ladd and I have all ridden a lot in distances, and if you've got questions, and even the Utah folks, if you want some help, feel free to call me. I think my phone number is pretty much out there, but Stacy can put it out again. Feel free to call me anytime, and I will help you the best I can. But Steve is really probably our expert on fuel with all the racing that he's done. But Ladd and I are pretty knowledgeable about it as well, because we've done a lot of long distance rides. So I love the video idea, and I think that's a great option to reach everybody. But if you're an inexperienced rider and you have immediate questions, feel free to reach out to any one of the coaches, and be happy to help.
If Stacy can email out to the whole chapter, just make sure that everybody has our emails at least, and even our phone number. You could call us, but that way, if they, like Bobby said, you just have a question that's not urgent, if you're on the side of the road and you have a question on how to get your tire off, please call us. Don't email me because you might not get the answer back for a couple hours.
If you email, you might be standing there for 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, you might as well just call somebody, but those are important things to know. So
Yeah, between the three of us, I'm sure one of us can rescue.
yes.
One of us can pull it off.
Yeah, anywhere.
Nice.
Corrine, I would be happy to hook you up with Tiburon. If I remember correctly, you live in Mill Creek, and Tiburon's Taylorsville, so it's not too far.
Nice to meet you, Corrine.
I know once we get a little bit into the season that we'll be hosting some training rides, and I think Bobby and Steve and Ladd probably will be doing as well as the states start to loosen up a little bit with the COVID requirements. So
yeah, we'd like to do some road rides. And for those folks, I know there's several of our riders up here that have recently gotten to gravel. We'd also like to do some gravel rides. And the beautiful thing about my ride is we can do any dang kind of ride we want and count the miles and raise money for JDRF. So we'll probably be doing a little of all of that as things loosen up. And we're getting close in Idaho for that to happen.
So moving forward, I would love to offer the option of hosting some of these clinics in person via Zoom and streaming them to the Ride Facebook pages if that's of interest to you guys. Just picking a topic and doing a brief, like 20-minute video with Q&A if anybody has specific questions. I'm also planning on doing some Facebook and fundraising. We'll call it a clinic in honor of being the ride. It'll be a fundraising clinic. I've been working for JDRF. I never really introduced myself, I guess, and neither did Mike. So maybe we should introduce ourselves now. So I'm Stacy, and I'm the development manager. My primary role is peer-to-peer fundraising. So I manage our walk program, the ride program, and also the Your Way and challenge programs, which include the marathons and the Ragnar Relay and do-it-yourself fundraisers. So anywhere there are people asking their friends for money, that falls under my job description. And I feel fairly confident, and I would love it if people would challenge me to help them raise $1,000 if they don't think that they can do it. It's a really easy goal to throw out there, and it's $100 donations. If you look at it that way, or if you break it down even further, it's even easier to hit. And with all of the tools that JDRF provides and the utilities that we have at our disposal through the personal page and the integration with Facebook, it's a lot easier than people think. So I would love to help anybody set a goal and reach to make that goal. So I'll let Mike introduce himself really quick to let you guys think of any last minute questions, and then we'll let you go.
Yes, I am Mike Summers. I'm the executive director of JDRF, and I have completed two. I think one was 115 miles and one was 106. We kind of got off track on one of the rides. But I came late to riding as a joy, and I was more of a runner, and Tiburon beat me to a pulp until I decided to ride. You know, the bottom line is I'm guessing everyone on this call loves to ride. And then they may have a type 1 connection, they may not. But when we ride for a reason. If it's clear in your head in the morning and you go out and just ride and you just clear your head, or you go out and ride and you try to break your PR from the last time. There's always a reason to ride. I guarantee you Stacy will help you raise $1,000. Something that I realized when I rode is when I put a plea out on social media day of ride, I raised a majority of my money that day. And so this is a unique opportunity that you guys are riding every day or every other day or once a week or twice a week or just on Saturdays or Sundays to take a moment and look up. We both all of us here live in the most beautiful part of this world, and take some photos of where you're at and share your story, share why you're riding and the reason you're riding, and post your link. You may get $5 one day, you may get $100 the next day, but I guarantee you people see you and care about you, and they know why you're out there. And share those moments with people out online, and you will raise some money. And it doesn't have to be a lot every day, but a little bit every day will add up. And we're riding for a reason. I mean, what more is there for? You're riding for your personal health. You're riding for the folks around you that live with type 1 diabetes. You're riding for your child. You're riding for yourself. There's a reason to do it. So go out there, enjoy it, enjoy those miles. You know, we all do it for a specific reason. So go out there, share your story on social media. Stacy, if you don't know, Stacy will hook you up on how to get your link, and you just take some pictures of your bike, take a picture of your face, take a picture of the sweat you just went through, take a picture of the mountains you just rode through. Things like that will add up, and you will be surprised at how much money you raise, and all the people that love and care about you will donate. And they don't need to donate a lot, just a little bit, and it will all add up. So I just thank you guys for joining us tonight. Please, I encourage you to reach out to Stacy. These coaches, I think it would be a great idea to do maybe a nutrition Zoom call. And you know, and Steve talks about, you know, what he does and how he manages nutrition. I think some people living with type 1 could talk about riding with type 1. I think it could be some fun times and an opportunity to share our stories and come together as a community. The weird thing about this COVID-19 is we all have to social distance, but these opportunities came about because of what we're doing. So get out there, ride, share your story, and you'll raise some money. And every penny you raise is a direct impact on research. I guarantee that. It makes a huge difference. We are so close in changing people's lives every day. And every time you ride and every dollar you raise makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for being here tonight. And good luck. It's going to be fun.
If I can just add something really quick, I know that they're doing intermittent challenges through My Ride, and they have a new one starting Monday the 15th. So if you're not registered, get registered so you can participate in that challenge.
Stacy,
Yes,
can I just do a little wrap up?
absolutely.
I just want to challenge everybody to go home and think about this, or stay home since you're already home. Think about this. And think about a fundraising goal, think about a mileage goal, and think about a recruitment goal, and what you can do. And I don't care if you choose to raise $100 or $10,000, if you choose to ride a couple hundred miles or 10,000 miles, or if you're going to just recruit one friend or 20 friends. It's hard to be successful if we don't have a goal and decide what we're shooting for. And so I'd encourage you all to set a goal and maybe share that goal if you feel comfortable with it, with the group or with the coaches or with Stacy, whatever you want to do. And once you share that goal, then it'll help other people to help you remain accountable to the goal you set. And again, I'm not asking you to be unrealistic. But I would ask you to make it a stretch. Don't make it too easy. Make it where you're going to have to put in some work. But we all love to ride, and putting in those miles will help us raise money. So, and the last thing is take Stacy up on her challenge to help you raise $1,000, because she knows how to do that. And if you talk to her and listen to her and take her advice to heart, raising $1,000 is really a piece of cake. So thank you all for being on the call. We're excited. It's a brave new world, but we're going to tackle it, and we're going to ride, and we're going to have fun.
Anybody else have any last?
I have a question. Do we have an end date that we're looking towards for this?
They haven't identified the celebration weekend, but it will likely be October, November timeframe. So
Okay.
they will finalize that info and send it out to everybody, but that's about the time frame. So I would love to do I have so many thoughts about fundraising. It's a whole nother call. So I will get that scheduled and let you guys know. Anybody who's interested in hearing from me about fundraising, I'm more than happy to coach, but I will do a basic 101 and linking to Facebook and all of that, just basic fundraiser stuff another day. So I'll let you have the rest of your evening, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I know I echoed the rest of our staff and all the people living with T1D that we are raising funds for. Thank you for your participation and your fundraising. So
Thank you.
we will all talk soon.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
Guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.